Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, Joseph Parker retains his WBO heavyweight title. The scorecards 118, 110 twice, and then a 114, 114 draw. All right. When the fight was over, I had it 6-5-1 in favor of Parker. And then I just watched. There was another the round I had even. I watched it again, and then I had it 7-5 Parker. So I had Parker winning the fight. I didn't think 118, 110. I thought that was pretty damn wide, man. And to tell you the truth, before I get to the actual fight, to tell you the truth, the most tense moment of the whole fight was when the scorecards were being read. Because when I heard 114, 114, I'm like, okay. Then when I heard 118, 110, I just automatically just registered in my head that they're just want to give it to Fury. I don't know, I just thought they'll give him that hometown edge, all right? But they gave it to Parker. The rounds that I gave to these fighters is I gave Fury rounds 1, 2. Then that debatable round for me was round 4. When I watched it again, I gave that to Parker. So I gave Fury rounds 1, 2, 7, 10, 11. All right. Man. Some things I noticed in the fight. Fury was trying to win the fight on ones and twos. What I mean by that is jab, jab, right hand. And that right hand, he wasn't even sitting on it. It was literally like when he was throwing the right hand, he was literally like leaning away, either going left or right as he was throwing the right hand at times. Wasn't even sitting on it, man. So he was literally just trying to score points. He wasn't trying to hurt Parker necessarily. And look, two of my favorite fighters of all time, my 5 favorite fighters, you guys been listening to my channel long enough, you know who they are. 2 of them are Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali. So I know all about using your jabs, circling, frustrating your opponents, but especially Ali, Will Holmes too. But they would sit down and throw 4 5s and 6s. They wasn't just jab, right hand. If they were sitting down, turning into right hands. You know what I mean? And they're a little bit, they had slightly more solid punchers than Fury was. Fury was literally jab, right hand, and then trying to escape. And he landed a few uppercuts in there, but the rounds he was winning, it wasn't so much he was beating Parker up. There was times in action where literally Fury would give the impression of, okay, the rounds that I did think he won off the jab, right hand, and he'll clinch and Parker wouldn't do much, but just look at him. Fury would come out in other rounds that he lost and still have that same posture of, hey, I'm still moving, I'm still popping my jab, I'm still throwing the right hand and clinching. But the rounds he was losing, he was throwing a jab out there and moving, but he was missing. He was literally just probing, just throwing a probing jab out there, hitting air, but moving. But he kept, switching left to right. He went southpaw a few times. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, you're just fighting the air and you're fighting Parker's guard. That's all he was hitting was air and glove. But Parker wasn't doing anything but just looking at him and just kept walking forward. Then there were times in the fight, especially round 8 and 9, where Parker seemed to sell out a little bit in a good way. What I mean by that is there were times in the fight where Fury was clinching him, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, why is Joe just landing the clinch? Why doesn't he try to drop his shoulders underneath, Fury trying to grab him, drop his shoulders and rip away and then rip shots? And then he would do it. Or he'll rip away and he'll take that side to the step and he'll be on the side of Fury. He'll let go some combinations. Some of them didn't land. Some of them did land. But just the fact that he was throwing in close. And then sometimes he would just be lazy. I don't know if he was trying to reserve his energy. I'm not sure. But in rounds, let me see, I wrote it down, 8, 9, and 12, he had like a spurt where he just let his hands go, regardless if Fury was holding them or not. Then there were sometimes he'll lunge in with one shot and he'll fall right into a clinch. Lunge in, and sometimes a shot will miss, sometimes it'll deflect. He landed some good right hands. I thought Parker landed the more stunning punches in the fight, especially the 12th round where he landed a nice right hand. But yeah, man, there was times in the fight where Parker was very off balance when he was leaning and lunging in as Fury was using his back foot. There were times where Fury was on the ropes and Parker would just look at him. You know, so I wasn't understanding why he wasn't being more aggressive, or as aggressive he was being in rounds 8 and 9. He was being aggressive in those rounds, way more aggressive than the other rounds that I seen. Uh, what else did I see? Yeah, Fury was not allowing Parker to land combinations when Parker would just lunge in with the one punch. Fury would just wrap him up. You can tell that was his game plan. He surprised me with how he was able to clinch Parker. But the times I've seen Parker rip away and throw punches is like, man, was he just that strong? Coupled with the fact that Parker's not doing anything and just being susceptible to being clinched. You know, so let me see here. I wrote down some notes, man, so just bear with me. Yeah, and if, and there was parts in the fight where Fury was, like I said, man, he was throwing his jab, but it was more like a stay away from me. Like, hey, you stay over there, I'll stay over here type of jab, where it was just pawing. He wasn't even setting anything up behind it. And the right hands he was throwing wasn't really fully committed on him. So, but the rounds he won, it was just he was throwing, and now he did land some jabs, triple jabs in there. He was landing some right hands, a few uppercuts. The crowd was reacting to everything, so it's kind of hard to tell what was actually landing. And he was throwing pretty quick punches, so couldn't tell if it got through the guard all the way, or if it was just hitting Parker's guard. But then Parker wouldn't do anything. He would just sit and watch as Fury did this whole routine of staying away, throwing a shot, posturing, throwing triple jabs. Some of them didn't land. At least he was being offensive, and Parker was just standing there. And then Fury would place one shot. So it was like he'll do all that work, not really landing anything, then he'll place one good shot while Parker wasn't doing anything. You guys get what I'm saying? So that's why I was giving Fury those rounds. But yeah, man, Parker did what he had to do. I thought he won majority of the rounds. 7-5, 6-5-1, somewhere in there. 8-4. I'm curious to see what you guys leave in the comment section. I've seen a couple scores online of 8-4 from some fans, but 7-5, and I got to watch that round over the round 4. So I had it officially 7-5 for Joseph Parker. What's next for Joseph Parker? Well, I'll do some videos about that, man. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.